Well, hello and welcome to Washington Live. I'm your host, Todd Patterson. I should say I'm your substitute host. I'm joined in the studio here with our producer, Nick Steffens, and our publisher is Matt Bryant. Later we'll be speaking with our guest, Amy Martin, who's the diabetic educator at Washington County Hospital and Clinics. And we were just remarking how I'm kind of the Jay Leno to Jaron's Johnny Carson. So I'm doing my best.
I feel like it might be the whole like Conan situation.
Conan?
Where you replace him like Jay Leno for a couple of days, and then they're like, oh yeah, by the way,
I have much better hair.
Than Conan?
Yes, I have better. You don't think I have better hair than Conan O'Brien?
I'm sorry, but no.
Well, either do you then?
Oh, I know for a fact. I'm 23. I'm 23, and I just started balding treatments.
I'm 48 and have my hair.
I'm probably not going to be that.
So on today's show, we're going to do some local events, police report. Nick's going to share with us our Almanac Best Day. So you want to talk local events first?
You might know more details than I do, but I know that there's a farmer's market on the 25th, which I believe is this Thursday.
Farmer's market this Thursday, and I think the football team, the Demon football team, is having their team meal there on Thursday night. Come out and support them. I guess watch them eat. I don't know how to support them really.
Those team meals were the best.
But the Demons football squad opens against Burlington at home on Friday. It's probably around 7. It should be a good game.
Yeah, I heard the quarterback's pretty good.
Quarterback's one of my favorite players of all time. Yeah. Ethan Patty Patterson. I couldn't have the nickname Patty because that actually was my mom's name. So I didn't want to have that, but that's a cool nickname. So they called me Pitter Patter back in the day.
Pitter Patter, let's get at her.
Yeah, it was. You were telling me you were a long snapper?
Yeah, all I did for varsity football was long snap. That was it. It was the best job ever. You play 7 plays probably, depending on how bad. If we did bad, you punt, and so I go out there. If we score, I also go out there for the field goals. So it was probably 8 plays a game.
I was a world-class tight end. And
world class
about it. Yeah, world class.
Oh yeah.
You know what my 40 time was? Forever.
I don't know what let's not get into that. This is embarrassing for me.
All right, there's some good stuff on the police report today, Nick. So we had 15 traffic incidents, 9 animal, 8 warrant, 6 public service, 5 vandalism, and a whole bunch of other things. But I think there's some really good stories.
There's some good ones
inside the numbers, right? So I think one of the reports that I like is caller reports chickens walking around her property. The animals were located and a citation will be issued.
And that's not the only chicken.
No. Did I ever tell you about the time chickens burned down my house? Maybe that's for another show.
Wait, is this a lead up to one of your dad jokes? Or
No.
Is this like a real
thing? My daughter brought home some chickens, and I think you'll see her in the dad joke of the day here in a little bit. But the heat lamp ended up starting our basement on fire, and we had to live out in the country for about 12 weeks.
Huh.
Oh no.
Yeah. Great. So they can be very dangerous.
I was thinking more like arson, like chickens that committed arson.
Well, I did find one had a lighter in its ring afterwards, but no
thumbs.
They were fried. They were fried chickens.
I knew there was going to be a dad joke in there.
So 2 callers reporting a male driving a 4-wheeler around town, possibly intoxicated. It had a broken tail light. 9221 responded, was unable to locate, but did locate the driver later on. We're told that is not Jaron Rosine.
Yeah.
So that is not where Jaron is right now.
He's in Milwaukee, so we're good.
I think there's another loose chicken in the area. Wow.
Yeah, I told you. I wasn't lying to you.
Here's my favorite. Well, I have two favorites here. So on East Main Street at what time is 22:58?
You can't read military. I think that's 10, right?
10:58.
On East Main Street, caller requests assistance with a bat inside her apartment. 103 responded and assisted. The bat apparently flew down the street because at 1 a.m. on West Main Street now, caller requests assistance with a bat in her apartment. 104 responded and assisted. So it was busy with bats.
Yeah.
Can I do the last one?
Of course.
There was a report, children witnessed a subject get into their shop and steal a truck. It has been located on G36 with a drive shaft laying in the road. Suspects left towards Washington in a black Prius.
There's a lot to that story.
There's a lot to that story.
Like, good on those kids for being the watchdogs.
Absolutely.
And then apparently that guy can't drive.
I wonder if the drive shaft was the thing being fixed.
Good point. I just figured he couldn't drive stick.
I can't imagine they could get away in a Prius.
I drove one for a while. This stays between you and me and how many people watch this. It was kind of nice. I'll admit it was a kind of a nice car. Yeah.
So what's our Nick? What's our almanac best day today?
It's a good day to make sauerkraut, and can and pickle things.
I love sauerkraut.
I'm a big sauerkraut guy too.
Favorite things. I like it on bratwurst in particular with mustard.
Yeah.
All right.
What else do we have for today?
Yeah, you want to go to commercial or?
I think it's time for a commercial break. I think our viewers need a break.
All right.
From all of them.
Okay.
At Ace, we're eager to assist you with all your shopping needs. Whether that be finally painting that room, getting ready for the next hunting season, or upgrading your bathroom. Whatever it may be, we'll make sure you get what you need.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Emmy, did you know that I only know 25 letters of the alphabet?
Why?
That's the punchline.
Oh.
Cut that one. Emmy, did you know that I only know 25 letters of the alphabet?
No.
I don't know why. Welcome back to Washington Live. I'm your substitute host for the day, Todd Patterson. It's great to have you with us. You just saw a pre-recorded dad joke. I have one that I will do live for you for your charge. So Nick, did you hear about the rumor about butter?
I have not.
Then I shouldn't spread it. That's bad.
I should have hit the cricket.
Yeah, anything. You should Well, we are joined today in the studio by a fascinating lady, Amy Martin, who is our diabetic educator at Washington County Hospital and Clinics. And Amy, I'm curious, why don't you, thanks for being here, first of all.
Sure.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? How long have you been working at Washington County Hospital, kind of your background
Sure.
and what you do for us?
I will. So I'm a nurse. I'm a diabetic educator. Obviously, I'm certified. And I've been at Washington for 10 years now, effective just this week, actually. So, but I've been doing diabetes education for about 14 years now. So it was something that I got involved in when I worked up in Dubuque and got really interested in it and took my certification test and did my extra hours. And unfortunately, I have the information because about 2 years after I was certified, my daughter got diagnosed with diabetes. So I started living what I was teaching at home, and I think that changes the whole playing field a little bit, makes you a little bit more relatable to the patients that you deal with. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about what diabetes is?
Yep.
And, some of the, complications that come with it and why it's such a can be such a devastating disease?
Sure. Yeah, there is a wide prevalence of diabetes. So there's two different main kinds of diabetes. Actually, research tells us that there's about 14 different kinds of diabetes now, but we kind of departmentalize it into two main kinds. So type 1 and type 2. The whole root of both problems is that your body doesn't either make or use insulin properly. We have to have insulin to get the sugar from our food into our cells to give us energy. And so for type 1 diabetes, people get it usually very suddenly. The pancreas just stops working and they're not able to make their own insulin. And so they have to be on insulin injections in order to keep their body working like it needs to. Type 2 diabetes is the most common. About 90% of patients with diabetes have type 2. And it's usually a gradual onset for them. And it starts out where we can manage it with maybe just lifestyle changes. And then we maybe need to add an oral medication and then another one. And then eventually at some point, people with type 2 diabetes end up on insulin as well. And so our whole goal of managing it is to help people prevent the complications that can come. We know that diabetes can affect anywhere in your body where the blood flows, which is essentially your whole body. And so we're trying to prevent those vascular complications, so heart attack and stroke, damage to our kidneys, damage to our eyes, damage to the nerves in our feet. We can prevent amputations. We know that if we can keep people's blood sugars well controlled, we can reduce their risk of complications by as much as 75%. So it makes a big difference.
And so, especially in the case of type 2 diabetes, can it be reversed?
That's a great question. I get that question from people a lot. So we can put their diabetes in remission sometimes or help them do that. They don't ever get rid of it entirely, I guess I would say, because if they were to change their lifestyle, or let's say somebody that was very overweight lost a lot of weight and they were able to get their numbers back down to normal, if things were to change, those blood sugars are going to go back up again. So now there's just saying that we can put it in remission more than curing it. So
what when you talk about the numbers, what are the things that you guys look at to make a diagnosis in particular with diabetes, and what are the things that you're monitoring to know if people are well controlled or not?
Right. So we can do, when they're diagnosing it, we use either just a random blood sugar and or a test that we call a hemoglobin A1C. And that is a blood test that looks at our red blood cells to see how much sugar has been circulating and how much sugar is coated on the outside of those cells. So it comes back as a percent, saying basically what percent covered in sugar are those cells. And so when that A1C is 6.5% or higher, that's where the diagnosis of diabetes comes in. For blood sugar, if there's a fasting blood sugar over 126 or a random blood sugar over 200, then we can give someone the diagnosis of diabetes. So, and then we're monitoring those numbers moving forward too, and that's what we use as our guide as to whether we need to increase our treatment or decrease our treatment, or sometimes just what we're doing isn't working and we need to change our plans.
So maybe you could talk a little bit about what kind of capabilities we have here in Washington, because at least from my perspective, we actually have one of the better equipped places in the in the region, really, with an endocrinologist, with
absolutely
you as a dietitian.
Yeah, we have done really, we're really blessed to have a good system here and good programs, and the hospital's been great at supporting that. So we recently hired Dr. McGospey. He is an endocrinologist, so a doctor that would specialize in diabetes management, thyroid disease, things like that. But so he's a great resource for us. I know he had told us that he's the only endocrinologist between St. Louis and Iowa City. So there aren't a whole lot of options available, and so a great option for us to have somebody like that here. Then we have myself, who does diabetes education, and then we have a dietitian as well, Taylor Stevens, who is able to help people with their diet planning and things like that. And then we also have podiatry that comes down, so foot care is very important for people with diabetes, so we have those services, and then we have some great eye doctors in town too, because eye care is also important. So
can you, I'm interested, one of the reasons that we've tried to bolster, our ability to treat diabetic care is because of the prevalence of it, is particular in our community. You want to talk a little bit about, how how we're impacted in our community in particular?
Yeah, I was looking up some statistics this weekend because I knew you were going to ask me that question. But the American Diabetes Association will say that there's about 10 to 12% of our population that has a diagnosis of diabetes. And then you throw in all the people that have prediabetes, and that raises our statistics to almost 1 in 3 people that have a blood sugar issue. So the prevalence in Washington County is 12%. So we're right in that range, and actually a little bit on the higher end of the range for people with diabetes. And you kind of stop and think, okay, why is that? Well, I think a lot of it has to do with we have a higher percentage of people that are age 65 and older. And so historically, we've said type 2 diabetes usually comes with age. And so if you have more people that are over 65, that probably is going to increase our statistics just a little bit.
So what are some of the other, risk factors or things that you would recommend, because I feel like we eat really well in Washington. I don't know about you, but like, especially at the hospital, like we eat really well.
Okay.
And during COVID, I packed on some LBs, which I've been trying to peel off sort of slowly. But I mean, is that a big thing? Is it diet? Is it lack of exercise? Is it, what are the things that, is smoking, drinking?
Sure. Yeah, so when we're looking at type 2 diabetes specifically, so type 1, remember, comes about because someone's pancreas quits. So there's nothing that someone can do basically to prevent the onset of that so much. But once you get the diagnosis, we're trying to get people to eat a healthy lifestyle, whether they have type 1 or type 2. With type 2 diabetes, it tends to be more a familial line. So family history of type 2 diabetes makes you more inclined to getting it. So if you know that you have that family history, you can do some things to delay the onset of it or to improve your outcomes. And one of them is to lose some weight, just like you said. We know that losing about 10% of our body weight can make a big difference in helping to improve your blood sugar control, and then exercise is huge. I know some of our doctors often tell their patients that it's the best medicine that we can give you for your diabetes is to move. The more you move, the better your cells take in the sugar, and it'll lower your blood sugars. So the goal is 30 minutes a day. Smoking is great to stop because when you have diabetes, you're already at increased risk of heart attack, and you throw in smoking, and that just compounds that risk.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
But I can still drink.
Well, you can in moderation. So all things in moderation, right?
How are we doing on time?
I think we have about 18 minutes, so we're good.
Okay. One of the things I'm really interested in, I see all these commercials. Well, you can never tell what the drug is for, but if you do a little bit of research, you can sort of get, more information on what they're used for. And I'm curious, like, where you see the industry kind of going, and maybe we'll have to come back for some of this answer, but what are the new initiatives, the new types of things that are happening that are going to allow us to better treat diabetes going forward?
Yeah. We've learned so much about diabetes just in the last 10 years. I feel like, diabetes has been around for a long time, but truthfully, the medicines that we have for it, we didn't really start picking up momentum until just the last 15, 20 years of what we're learning. And so we have so many great medications now that not only benefit your blood sugar control, but also help you reduce your risk of a heart attack and stroke, protect your kidneys from failure. And help with weight loss. And so we have a lot of great options out there for people that can help prevent those complications from happening. And then we also have the advances of technology. Continuous glucose monitors and insulin pumps that will talk to the monitors and auto adjust insulin. I think with the whole big goal in mind is we got to remember that not everybody fits in the same box. Not everybody's the same. And so what works for one person isn't what works for the other. And, I feel like my big platform and soapbox with diabetes management all these years is quality of life. How do we help improve your quality of life? Dealing with a chronic condition like diabetes is a nuisance. It's troublesome for people. And if we can make it so that they can have a better quality of life and find a treatment that meets their needs, that's a great success. So.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
You want to take a break?
Yeah, I have a question.
Oh, yeah,
go for it.
Though. So you kind of
For me?
referenced, yeah. So in there's those commercials, and they're like, talk to your doctor about this. I feel like if I'm recommending medicine, we both have problems. So like, what am I supposed to do?
Well, in this case, I actually agree with you. I think that's a big problem if you're recommending that. I think it's a pretty clever marketing tool, and drug companies are very and you never quite know what it's for.
Yeah.
Really, and all the things. But I do know that there are, and I don't want to speak for Amy, but I know that there's a new series of drugs in particular that are, help you reduce your blood sugar through your urine and some other things like that are pretty unique. And, they all have like side effects.
Yeah, and then it's the long list. I don't know, they're not meant for me. They're meant for like 65-year-old men.
I think to Amy's point, it really comes down to quality of life. Yeah. And, if you can avoid being on those types of things, it's always the best. There's some not associated with those drugs, but there's some nasty side effects with some drugs that I maybe shouldn't get into.
Yeah. we'll get into the break instead of focusing on that.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
For many, farmland holds more than financial value. It holds emotional value. Whether your farm has been in your family for generations or it's an investment, we recognize the importance of your relationship with your land. At Hertz Farm Management, we have been serving landowners in Iowa for over 75 years. At Hertz, we bring a personal and knowledgeable approach to helping customers manage, buy, sell, or appraise farms. We invite you to visit our Washington office and partner with someone you can trust.
Welcome back to Washington Live. I am your substitute guest host number 2 in the lineup, Todd Patterson, joined by Nick Steffens as always, and our guest today is Amy Martin, diabetic educator at Washington County Hospital and Clinics. Amy, welcome back.
Thank you.
And, I'm going to put you on the spot here for a second. I'm a big dad joke guy.
Yes.
If you didn't know that. That would be really weird if you didn't, but I want to hear your dad joke.
All right,
today.
I came prepared.
All right.
What do you call a fear of giants?
What?
Fee-fi phobia. Kind of need symbols or something, right?
Yeah, you get a...
Which one's this? It was the drum on that one.
Okay. Rim shot?
Yeah.
All right, so thanks for being here, Amy. That's a whole bunch of awesome information about diabetes and what you do. Can you talk a little bit about how you sort of approach treatment? And I know you have classes and things that you do for your diabetic education work.
Right. We do both individual and group classes. So, if someone out there is needing help or having questions about diabetes, all you got to do is call the hospital and ask to talk to our office, and we can sure get you in. We do have some upcoming things. One thing I want to really promote is that we do offer a free diabetes support group monthly. Anybody's welcome to come to that. We meet the first Thursday of the month from 9 to 10 in the morning at the education classroom. That's just a way that we usually pick a topic, and it's free education and then kind of support each other. It's not a very big group of people right now, and that's a good way for someone to get their foot in the door and get some information. We do have group diabetes classes that are taught by myself and then Taylor, our dietitian, and then we have a great support staff. Kelsey Bayless, pharmacist, comes and talks about the diabetes medications. Nicole Narain, which is one of our physical therapists, talks about exercise management. And then usually Cindy Epperly talked about social work as far as stress management and how to cope with the things that are handed at you with a chronic disease. So the next group class is coming up Thursday, September 1st from 12:30 to 4:30. And again, all they need to do is call the hospital and let us know. So But we're here to help.
That's great. I mean, I think the thing I take away from it is a chronic disease. It is with you and requires active management. And sometimes it can be really difficult to sort of look at it and say, I've got to manage this thing, especially throughout my lifetime. And it's difficult probably to maintain compliance with it. The treatment regimens, it's, lifestyle changes that aren't always, that enticing.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it comes down to what they do at home so much, and we're just here to help them be successful. So,
well, I can tell you on behalf of myself and Washington County, we really appreciate everything you do. You make a huge difference. So.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
All right.
Are we ready for the birthday game?
Yeah, unless you want to do national days.
We have a national days. This one, it fits perfectly with the.
All right, let's hear it. National Blood Sugar Day?
No, it's Surgical Oncologist Day. So, do you have an oncologist?
We have a surgeon.
I don't know what an oncologist is, if I'm being honest.
Somebody who resects cancer tumors. Surgical oncology. They also, head and neck tumors is a big one, and,
Well, if you have one, make sure you appreciate them.
I know a lot. We don't have any down here. We don't.
Send them a card.
We'll sure do that.
All right, let's get into
so-and-so. I hope never to see you.
Let's get into the birthday game. Okay. So, are we all familiar with the rules?
You might want to tell Amy the rules. I know them, of course, because I've won this, I think, twice. So it's not a big deal, but it's whatever.
So I put a celebrity up on the screen whose birthday is today. We have a birthday shout out before we get.
Oh, yes.
Millie Youngquist, who was on the show Friday. It is her birthday.
Happy birthday, Millie.
Happy birthday, Millie.
You're wonderful.
She was my choir teacher in high school.
Oh, nice. So I'll post a little bit on the screen, and you have to guess their age. If you're within 3 years, you get a point. If you're right on, you get 2 points.
Oh.
So
pressure.
Are we ready?
Yeah, I hope I know him.
Okay. Let me get the scorecard up. Okay, the first one is James Corden, who is a late night host. I think he's stepping down. I won't get into it. I despise this man.
Oh.
That's a whole show.
Can I put my guess out there?
Yeah, go ahead.
45.
39.
He is 44. So you get a point. Todd, you do not.
Thanks.
Am I going to get penalized if I beat the CEO?
Yeah. You don't beat the CEO.
Next up, we have Kristen Wiig. It's 2 eyes. Only have 1 eye on my sheet.
She's very funny. I thought it was Wag.
Wag is. I honestly have no idea.
I don't know. It just depends.
It's 2 eyes.
It just depends on how many eyes you put in.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's her birthday today. That's how old she is.
I get to guess first.
You go first.
42.
I'm feeling 46.
She is 49. Amy, you get another point.
Holy cow.
You're getting
She's aged well.
getting blown out.
Well, she's just like recently popular, isn't she?
I think it was. When was she on?
She was
SNL.
on, she did that, and then she was in Bridesmaids. That's what I remember.
Yeah, so I guess so that was how long ago was that? I have no idea. I feel like
everything's now like 20 years ago.
2016 was still like 3
Pearl
years ago.
Jam still new, remember?
Next up, we have Ty Burrell, who is Phil on Modern Family. I think he does some cartoon voiceovers. I'm not quite sure.
Your call first.
Oh boy, 58.
I'm gonna say 61.
He is 55.
Holy cow! Smoke. I can't even win now. I don't think. Can I?
No.
I can't even tie.
You
Well,
can't even, let's see how bad. Set the trophy over there. You get this. This is for pride at this point.
all right.
We have Bill Parcells.
Oh,
Big tuna
Big Tuna. Is that his
or
nickname?
green tuna
or
or the tuna.
that's a pretty good nickname. We're talking about nicknames early.
Yeah.
Big Tuna's a good nickname.
83.
I got to put my guess out there. Let's say.
You know who he is?
I do know who he is.
Oh, you do?
Yes. Let's do 86.
Well, Todd, you're on the board. He's 81.
All right, good job.
So what I lose? 3-1.
3-1. Yeah. So it could have been. It could have been worse.
Shomer beat me too.
Did he? Okay. Well, I don't feel so bad then.
There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you. Best day ever.
All right. Well,
You want to send us off with what was your send off last time?
no, the one I used at the hospital the other day for an internal communication, which I don't think has come out yet, was I didn't use it. Well, I'm going to use the Dennis Miller one when he was Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah.
That's the news, and I'm out of here. How about that?